Henry and I are headed towards Skid Row. We're going to meet up with an organization that feeds the homeless, and gonna talk to them, see how they relieve the homeless, and gonna talk to some homeless people themselves and get their stories. So this will be interesting. I've never been to Skid Row before, so let's see how it is.
Yeah. Actually, I'm doing something. You said your company gives monetary donations,
yes,
or food donations?
They give monetary donations. They give it to me, and then I go down and purchase it. But
that's a real blessing.
It is, just being able to do it. More so for me, is just being able to make an impact, a contribution. Because of the people that we know. So it's real fulfilling.
Yeah, there's a lot of people out here on Skid Row who not only are they believers, but they're not addicts of any sort. They're either suffering from life consequences, or they're veterans who've been through a lot of traumatizing things throughout their lives, where their minds are just gone, and they can't function in everyday society. They can't find themselves a job. They can't find a stable place to live with the economy being so bad. So they just resort to the only place that's accepting people who can't survive in the everyday world, and they're going down to Skid Row, where you don't have to pay anything. You go ahead and live in the streets. Maybe they want help. They're still believers, but they just have nowhere else to turn. So
there have been cases of TB on Skid Row since 2007, and recently it was on the news, but it was just BS. But there's still people with TB. There's a chance tonight, because you're going to come across like 400 people, that you'll come across somebody with TB. In an open air environment, the chance of you getting TB is low, but there's still a chance. We have these masks here, which are N95 grade, which are the grade that filters out TB bacteria. We're going to give one to each of you guys if you want it. That reduces that risk a lot less than the initial risk. What up? So you guys have to understand, you're going into a place where you could be in harm's way. So I want you guys to understand before we go there, and also this is a completely voluntary organization. Everybody's going down there on their own accord. If at any point you feel uncomfortable, you have every right to leave. If you want to leave right here, right now, nobody's going to judge you, but I want you guys to understand what you're getting into. All of you guys understand? All you guys who are new? Yep. Bob's going to go through what we do.
Okay, so there's very little parking down there off 6th Street, sort of carpool. So I think we've already sort of a few carpools set up.
So we're finally, at first I wasn't sure if I should take out the camera to film. Wasn't so sure, but so now I'm finally able to get some footage. I got some footage on my phone, but so this is what we're doing, wearing our masks from the tuberculosis epidemic, and yeah.
I'm sorry, man. You're going to wait in line. I'm getting these guys. Come on, I'm sorry. No, this is not the line. This is not the line. Whoa! Go ahead.
Hello, Edwin!
My name is Edwin Rivera. I come from Puerto Rico. I'm from the Caribbean, but a USA citizen, okay? But I came to California for looking for a life, job, work, to get some life. But unfortunately, I have not been lucky to get what I want.
My name is Claire.
Nice to meet you.
Claire Lou Bryan. I want to own a mansion in a square yard. Hello. You see this hand right here? It ain't amputated. I had to put this fist to one of these motherfuckers down here. Oh, cut that out. And it got infected. So I go to the doctor. I get my penicillin and all that. All I just want to say is keep up the good work. And a roll wide. And I love you.
What are you trying to do to better your situation, or what can you do?
In my case, I'm looking for job. I was teacher in Puerto Rico, visual arts and theater teacher. You know.
Do you have a degree? Or a
yeah, I have my bachelor degree. Bachelor. I want to do my master. One of my dreams is to continue to another level and to get more experience.
What do you do for a source of income right now? Anything?
Income is the government helping with the GR and the food stamp. Meanwhile, but I want to be working. Get involved in a profession. Yeah. Sometimes I stay in the streets. Sometimes I stay in the shelters.
Okay.
And to sing into the shelters. I don't know. Maybe soon. Maybe I don't know. Maybe soon I move from the area. Or something. But, my intention here is I don't use drugs or alcohol. Some people are involved in, unfortunately. They are in drugs or alcohol. Never in my case. Never drugs or alcohol.
What's your name, ma'am?
Really, right about now it's Jesus Christ. No, I just said that just to remember to always include God, whatever that is to you, whatever you call him. But I've learned that without the name Jesus Christ, you ain't gonna get very far in any of it. So, and that's done with a little bit of research, and that is what is giving me the ability to overcome not understanding why this exists and why I'm a part of it. And whatever reason that is because whatever I just spoke of, and that understanding still lies with him, because in my own understanding I wouldn't have it this way.
And so where are you from?
Actually, I'm from LA. I'm here from the planet Earth. Okay.
And how did you get in this situation?
That's irrelevant. Whatever it is, that still lies with God. That's what I'm telling you. I mean, from beginning to end, from birth to death, I mean, I could go on over and over giving different scenarios in my life that I could say that aren't exactly as I'd have them to be in my understanding of a God, but all is God. That's it. In a nutshell, all is God. Whether you want to accept it or not, whether it be disobedience, whether it be tragedy, whatever it is, it's him trying to tell us something in a mild to a serious way.
What's your name, sir?
My name is Carlton.
Carlton? Mm-hmm. How old are you, Carlton?
36.
And how long have you been here?
About a month.
About a month? And where are you from?
Pasadena.
Where do you live exactly?
Around.
Just on the street, at shelters?
Yeah.
And where do you see yourself going anytime soon or in the future?
Hopefully back home.
Why are they banning feeding homeless people in
because they want to get rid of them. They want to get rid of the population in LA. A lot of times what they've been doing is the people who get arrested, they've been dropping them off in San Bernardino areas.
For just to get them out of the city?
Just to get them out of the city. They'll book them in Twin Towers and they'll transfer them out to the San Bernardino court systems, and they'll release them from there because they're trying to get them out of that downtown LA area, because they're doing new construction. All the old warehouse buildings, everything that you see there, they're turning into lofts.
So they're not even like trying to help the homeless, they're just trying to get them out of the way?
Pretty much, yeah.
Wow. I mean, they used to just go ahead and, when people were getting out of the hospital, they had nowhere to live or they didn't have anywhere to put them, they just go throw them on the streets here in LA. This was a couple years back, until they investigated it and it became a big thing where a couple paramedics got busted dropping this homeless guy who just got out of the hospital straight out of his wheelchair into the streets. And so now they're trying to get him out of LA, and there's really nowhere to put him. Shelters are all filled up.
And the shelters have closed down from the winter, so you got this surplus of
Yeah, we
people.
used to feed about 200 people. Now that the shelters are closed, it's up to about 400 to 500 some nights.
Wow.
In a matter of a couple of days. Come housing, it takes a long time. And even to get on Section 8, there's like an 8 to 10 year wait just for the whole Section 8. So.
Wow, 8 to 10 years. Can you imagine waiting 8
to 10 years? And some people have kids. We've seen kids out on Skid Row. We've seen people with infants walking around because they have no housing. Or some of them will sleep in their cars. They have cars, but they can't afford an apartment anywhere. So they go to work and then they come to Skid Row and just sleep in their cars.
Name is Mel Tilakaratna. I'm from a poor country called Sri Lanka, and I came here 10 years ago. 2 years ago, driving home, coming off the freeway, I took a wrong turn and I drove through Skid Row by mistake. Like a lot of people of Los Angeles, I didn't know about Skid Row. Driving through at 1 o'clock in the morning, I was shocked by the number of tents first that you see when you drive into Skid Row, and then just really taken aback by hundreds of people who were sleeping on the street. So I stopped, I asked people, I wanted to find out what it was. They said they were homeless. I went, I got them like some sandwiches, just like 10. And then they were like, yeah, we're hungry at night. We don't get fed after 5:30. So told some friends the next week, came back on a Monday. Came back on a Monday with 4 people, and we gave out 72 sandwiches, and that was 2 years ago. That's how it started.
Awesome.
Our group has people from every country. Like we've had, I'd say we've had like 3,000 volunteers. We have volunteers from all over the globe, and we have people who are really rich. We have a lot of people who are middle class. We have a lot of people who are actually poor. We have a few who are homeless who volunteer, and then we also have people who are convicted felons. But all in all, we are all human, and we get together because we want to feed the people down on Skid Row who are hungry. Monday through Friday, we feed an average of 250 people a night. We are sponsored by the people of LA, and the reason, what we want to show is that you don't have to be rich, you don't have to be in a position of power. All you want to do is make a change, and you can make a change. We feed people, the people we feed, a lot of the people sleep on the street. A lot of the people actually have subsidized housing, which is in most cases, it's called SSI secured income. It's a room that they're given for approximately $250 a month. Being unemployed or being impaired, a lot of these people are disabled. They rely on us for dinner. And also we have a lot of people who work during the day, don't have a place, come back at night, and because all the missions stop feeding at 5:30, they come to a line to get a meal. So that is what we do. And as far as making a change, what we try to do is, one, we've shown the people down there that we are there for them. We try to instill that faith in them of the people of LA to make sure they understand that they have not been forgotten. And on the other end, what we try to do is we are trying to rally people of LA, show them the real conditions of Skid Row, because a lot of people don't understand how bad it is, and try and motivate them to go ahead and make changes as a whole, as Los Angeles, to make sure that we don't let Skid Row continue.
Excellent.
I'll just keep that on the burger at McDonald's or something. Or like a...
This is your Sharpie, right, Ian?
When you can, I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Without you guys. We're over here on Washington. Got your phone in case anything goes wrong, and I'll be keeping an eye on you, man.
All right.
Cool. Sound good?
Yeah.
I just let him go at about 11:50. He's been walking out here, figuring out where he's gonna go for a while. About 5 minutes now. It is now 12:38. There's Ian out there walking on Washington Street. Okay, so we are in front of Chase, and you found a shopping cart.
A shopping cart. So
Sweet.
I found a coffee, just a whole package of coffee.
Oh my gosh.
I bet after being on the streets for a while, they probably get really good at this. It's just kind of strange how I notice how people look at you a lot differently when you're homeless. Like, and they really keep their distance. Let me see. Let me check this one out. There's some. I guess it is. I could probably.
This is how you could look for bottles to recycle, I'm sure.
Totally. I mean, there's like a ton. I try to stay away from residential areas. Well, it's getting pretty late, and I'm feeling pretty tired. I need a place to sleep. I can see how once you just start getting really tired, you kind of just can sleep. You just pick a spot and go to sleep because you need to sleep real bad. So I'm gonna go down that way, and there was a church, and I found it just looked like a good spot. So I'm gonna go back and curl up and try and get some sleep. So this is the spot up here by this church. So I'm gonna wrap myself up. Lay down. I think I'll just. This'll keep me warm. Keep my head warm. So my legs will be fine. More of my upper body. So I'm concerned with, and I'll just like that. And try not to worry about anything. Try and sleep.
So now that Ian is sleeping over by the church, I will be right over here in the car keeping an eye on him. I'll be close by in case he needs anything, and morning should be here soon. He's comfortable. It's pretty cold out. So, looks like he's doing okay. Awesome. Looks like he's alright. So, okay. We'll see what happens around 7:30-ish. Okay, so Ian just woke me up just now. I was sleeping in the car. He came from out of the churchyard, and so how was it, Ian?
Oh, it's my alarm set for 7.
Yeah, it's 7:03. Mine
Yeah.
to go off. Okay, so there's an intersection down here on Lake, over by the freeway, and that's where a lot of traffic flows through. We've seen a bunch of homeless people panhandling there in that intersection, so we don't know if anyone's there right now, but we're gonna go look and see, and if nobody is there, maybe Ian can snag that spot and see how much he earns. So we're gonna go check it out. Okay, so it doesn't look like there's anybody there. There might be one person. So Ian is now out on the street He's got his sign out there. Maybe someone will give him some cash. Okay, so Ian just got back from attempting to panhandle on Lake Avenue over here by the freeway. Wasn't a very huge success. It's 7:40. He's been out there for about a half an hour. Nothing. Did you get any money at all from anybody? Yeah. And turns out there was another homeless guy who was watching us, and he got kind of angry, and he came up to me and he said, "Why don't you use a real homeless guy?" And so we just decided to let this guy have his own spot or something like that. So wasn't a huge success, but you know, this is the whole point of an experiment. It's probably difficult facing all those people and asking them for money, and you know, if you really don't have a reason to.
It's kind of hard to fake it, and I wonder if people thought. I mean, I just wonder what people thought if they kind of could tell I wasn't homeless, or if they bought it. You know, at least we tried. You know, just to see what it's like. I realize how much like people stare at you and treat you way differently.
Yeah.